Hi, I'm Life Coach Landry, and the topic is 10 behaviors that keep love regenerating and alive. These are things you can do right now in your relationship that are just going to make you start feeling energized and rejuvenation. So let's say you broke up with someone, and remember my rules are if you live with someone, if you've been engaged with someone, if they've cheated on you, let that relationship go. This applies to people who have either broke up over just a basic fight, or people who are, just together right now and they're moving into the next step. These are things you can do. Or if you've been together for over a year, these are things you can do right now that will help your relationship just kind of skyrocket, take off. And if you've getting kind of a balanced, thing, or you've kind of hit this like little boring line and you want to just kind of boost it up, these are the things you can do, okay? Number one is living in the heart and mind of your partner. Trust is one of the most basic components of a relationship. And I say in my other videos, if you've broken trust multiple times with somebody, they're not going to ever love you correctly again, unless you come and be tried and proven to them again, okay? So trust is one of the most basic components. You have to remember that you are in each other's presence, especially true if any of these behaviors could cause the other partner to be hurt, even those experiences that might never emerge. In relationships that continue to rejuvenate and thrive, both partners know they are still representing everything they say and do with honesty and integrity, whether it be together or apart, okay? Number two, keeping private knowledge in confidence, okay? Intimate partners tell each other many things. It may not be everything, but they also don't tell other people a lot of these things. Like for me, I'm a very private person. So when I date, unless a huge crisis happens, and I even wait when I get in a fight with someone or an argument with someone, I wait 72 hours before, even if my friends ask what's going on, I don't even tell that information to them because I like to keep it internal to make sure that things might not get worked out to where the world doesn't need to know about it, okay? So that's one of those keep things in confidence. Both also know that they can tell one another vulnerable things, okay, to let somebody else know how they're feeling. Number three would be the acceptance of imperfections. Most people will begin to withhold intimacy over time or express mockery or disdain, suspicion, anxiety, prejudice. When love is new, people rarely criticize your partners, right? So if you want to, and I don't mean criticize like, I'd rather you wear this today or something. I mean, we all have things that if I want to feel more attracted to you, you want to feel more attracted to me, you might mention something. But I'm talking critical things where let's say you're talking and they're cutting you off because they don't think you're smart enough to know what you're talking about. Just things like that. So in relationships that grow in intimacy, both partners know that they can always go to each other and tell things, even uncomfortable subjects. And the person over coffee will sit there and listen to them, okay? Number four, the freedom to differ. Okay, differences and discovery are intertwined. Characteristics of all truly intimate relationships. In order to take advantage of the excitement they provide, you have to know how to welcome them successfully and weave them into the relationship. We're not all the same. We're never supposed to be the same. That's why the world's indifferent, but that's okay. Embrace it in your relationship. Number five, not taking anything for granted. This one should be pretty obvious. Intimate partners who always remember that their presence in each other's lives is not guaranteed and they treat it with love and respect will go a long way. Number six, courage in the face of threats to the relationship. People who love each other make sure that they keep each other well informed of their internal and external conflicts. So if some exes come back in their life and trying to pull them away, if something's going on in their job workplace, if their father and their mother are fighting and it's causing stress on them, they are clear about you. They don't withhold things. They don't fold. They don't start treating you different because of something else that's happening to them. Okay, that's crucial to maintain a relationship. Number seven would be keeping perspective. Okay, in these days, the ever-changing kind of emotional, turbulent times that we live in, everything moves fast. Okay, so you got to keep some perspective on what's going on, and often remind each other of where you've been and where you want to go with them. And this is nothing that can't be solved over a couple of cups of coffee. Okay, 8. Havens of healing. In order for intimate partners to continue to remain havens of healing for each day, they must make certain to protect their connectors and their connections with each other. Okay. So faith, whatever it might be, whenever their partners need them, you're there. As long as they tell you that they need you. Now, you got to remember, sometimes you can pick up on it, but most of the time I always tell people, you must communicate when you need somebody. It doesn't have to be some long paragraph or some kind of crazy story. Sometimes you could just tell somebody, I could use a hug, or I really need to just lay on your chest. Or as a guy, you might say, you know what, I could really use a shoulder rub and just talking to you right now. Things like that are communicating in a short, easy, loving way. I really just need you right now. Okay. Number 9, the belief that the others has inherent value. Okay. People who stay in love do not let minor irritations define the core of their partner's inherent value to them. That's why I would say if an ex comes along and all of a sudden they start treating you different, that person clearly is confused, insecure, lost, whatnot. But people who love you won't ever let that get too far. They're going to be there to support you. When they harm you, they're not going to want to give you space, even though it might be best sometimes. They're going to try everything they can until you tell them you don't want to talk to them, because they're trying to support you, okay? And number 10, and this is the most crucial one, is love is not ownership. Okay, this is why men who constantly harass and barrage women with messages, typically show that these men are bad for women, because these are men who believe in the ownership of a woman, and only women who have social issues with themselves or self-esteem issues or whatnot will ever allow men like this to take over and love them, and they love them back. It's a toxic cycle. So don't get into that. What you should be looking for is that freedom of commitment, and a wondrous combination of you've achieved kind of how to value it correctly. Okay, that means there's a freedom there of, if they need to go somewhere, you're not wondering where they are. You're not worried about it. You know they love them. You know they're coming back, so you don't sweat it. That understanding seems to bond good, solid couples together. Okay, now, these crucial 10 behaviors form that sustaining, regenerating love. So you want to practice these all the time. Remember, if you're a man, you want good, masculine, strong energy. You want to be ambitious. You want to be independent and consistent. You want to be someone on a mission to get things done and prosper your life, so that when you have offspring, or if you already have offspring with your partner, that they thrive because of your relationship. Okay. You also, as a woman, want to make sure you have good, strong feminine energy. And what is good, strong feminine energy for women is communicating, bridging, showing affection and love consistently to a man. It's what will make him provide you whatnot. Now, to women, I always warn them, make sure you're giving the right man your feminine energy. The wrong men will show, first of all, as a woman, your intuition is, if you're with a man and it's getting to that stage where it's time to move in and you get uncomfortable, it's not what you want. As a man, same thing. If a woman starts talking about moving in, whatnot, and you get kind of hazy about it, well, then it's not what you want, okay? So I hope this information helps you guys. Practice these 10 things. Check your relationship to see if they have these 10 things. And if you want to work with me on this personally, contact me at the email below, and I will talk to you soon.